Sibiza abayithu.
I'm fully out.
comrades. Thank you. If we may settle down so that we can continue with the proceedings of the day. Thank you, comrades. Thank you. Thank you. Please, if we settle down so we can continue. Let me start by saying good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the media houses, media outfits, citizens of our beautiful country, South Africa. I welcome you all to this press briefing that I know has been long awaited. And let me introduce myself. My name is uMkhonto. And having said that, let me move on to then introduce the dignitaries and obviously the special guests that have joined us today. I have noticed that there's the bishops that are present. Can we please?
I can't be told. say what I thought I wanted to say today. Then at the end, I will just say a few words which I think are necessary for the country to be aware. Just small things. And then I said, well, there are people who always say there is question and answer. Why? When they've heard it, they said, no, they're very fond of asking questions. And I'm very fond of answering questions, fortunately. But for today, I will only take between 3 and 5 questions, if they are serious. If they are not serious questions, sorry, I will say so, sorry, you'll be very happy. And then I will also tell a little story about me since I left government. Some of the things that only me know. And then talk about why I'm going to answer a few questions. From January to the date I will be in your hands, I will answer all your questions. And therefore don't say he's not wanting to talk. No. He is Ukulu. I'm going to talk about elections. About elections. Are we right? So, I will then hand over to my daughter here to say the few words that I wanted to say, and then just make my throat rest, because I'm going to use it greatly in the few months that are coming. Thank you very much.
My fellow South African citizens and members of the local and international media, the African National Congress, the oldest liberation movement in the African continent, is globally recognized as one of the greatest liberation movements of our time. It was a mighty force that led the struggle for freedom against one of the most evil and cruel regimes, and inspired many liberation movements in the continent and beyond. This organization was established by great leaders who are regarded as forward thinkers and brave pioneers of this country. The objective was clear. It was to liberate the Black people and the Africans in particular, transform their lives, and also establish a South Africa that equally belongs to all who live in it. Black people had been turned into semi-slaves and semi-colonial subjects in the land of their forefathers by oppressors who came from faraway lands, causing severe marginalization over many centuries. After much reflection, it truly saddens me that the ANC of today is not the once great movement that we loved and were prepared to lay down our lives for. Due to infiltration and failure of leadership, the ANC has been reduced to an organization that is hardly respected by those that is sought to liberate, serve, and protect. Having engaged with many people from different walks of life, more especially those who have placed their faith in the ANC to transform their lives, it is clear that they are disappointed. They are very critical of the manner in which the ANC has been conducting itself as a political party governing their country in recent years, more especially under the current leadership. For over a century, the ANC leadership had always treated its members and supporters with utmost respect and prioritized listening to them more than listening to themselves. An open channel of communication from the ground up had always been a core practice of the organization and had helped to maintain a strong connection with the people. A healthy relationship between the leadership of the ANC and its members at all levels demonstrated the character of being an organization of the people, by the people, and for the people. It is for such reasons that many of us initially joined the ANC and believed so deeply in its mission that we were prepared to sacrifice our lives. Many indeed paid the supreme sacrifice and lost their lives in the process of fighting for our freedom. The ANC that I know always prioritized recruiting new members and continuously sought to build and maintain. The ANC I know was never focused more on expelling members under the instruction of my organization. I later ascended to the position of commander within MK and was also elected as the leader of the ANC. Having faithfully served this organization from my youth until now, I have a concise understanding of how the organization works on its own and also with their alliance partners. I hold a very deep commitment to my organization. I have always been ready to serve the ANC at any level, and my track record reflects that. I truly believe in the mandate of the ANC, and I will continue to serve my organization. I will die a member of the ANC. Precisely because of my deep understanding and belief in the ANC, I deeply feel the pain and disappointment of witnessing this powerful organization being reduced to an organization that has introduced practices that are foreign to its character and mission. Some of the foreign behavior and displays have led to the public losing in the capabilities of the organization and losing faith and respect for its leadership. Due to these unfortunate developments, many people are vocalizing their mistrust in the organization to the extent that they are threatening not to vote for the ANC in the upcoming elections. This organization was trusted by friends and foes. The people of this country looked forward to engaging and interacting with the ANC. Many looked up to the ANC as a forward-thinking organization and as the real liberator of the oppressed. As a result of this organization attracted persons of all classes, races, and ages to join in carrying out its noble mission. However, in recent years, many members and supporters of the organization have reached a point where they have publicly come forth to express their difficulty with understanding and accepting the manner in which the organization is being run by the current leadership. The organization that I have served for over 6 decades under trying conditions has changed into an organization that we no longer recognize. This organization is now being led by some leaders who are behaving in an un-ANC manner that does not reflect the true character and mission of the organization. This has led me to identify the need to rescue our organization from this un-ANC behavior. There is an overwhelming and growing number of cadres who have raised similar concerns about the current manner in which the organization is being led. Others have unsuccessfully tried to express their concerns and were robbed of the opportunity to express themselves in the appropriate arena of the ANC National Conference. When I was the president of the ANC, dissenting voices were never silenced as in the present. Even the Zuma Must Fall Brigade were free to express themselves. It has become clear that this organization is no longer the organization we grew up knowing. It is for this very reason that those of us who never forsake or abandon the ANC feel it necessary that we undertake a process to rescue the ANC from the wrong hands, bring it back to the people and restore its former glory. Given the death of democratically elected structures of the ANC, the role is determining electoral outcomes since the CR17 scandal of blatant white monopoly capture of the organization and the suspected fraudulent manipulation of conference outcomes. I have full sympathy with those comrades who believe that ANC can no longer be saved from within its non-existent structures. Something more bold, creative, and dramatic needs to be done by those who love the real ANC. Some have resigned and cited valid reasons for doing so. Others have not renewed their membership. Other ANC members have even told me that they keep their membership but vote for other progressive parties. All this has resulted in the rapid decline of the ANC in successive elections. It is now widely expected that the ANC will lose national election for the first time since 1994. This follows its 46% loss of the 2021 local government elections under the present leadership, which should have served as a wake-up call. This seems like a deliberate plot to kill the ANC. I've been left with no alternative as a faithful servant of this organization that I love and believe in, but to do something to correct the wrongs within the organization so that we can restore the confidence of the public in the vision of the ANC and regain their trust and support. We need to rescue the ANC and bring it back to the organization that we know, love, and trust. This requires drastic action. Before stating what we're going to do to rescue and restore the real ANC vision, let me tabulate a few of the current pressing issues on which I base my distrust of the current ANC of Ramaphosa as a proxy of white monopoly capital, which must be distinguished from the real ANC. Firstly, the ANC kept quiet when the powers of the president were taken away in the appointment of the chair of the Commission on the so-called state capture. This symbolized an opportunistic amendment of the Constitution of South Africa. Secondly, The ANC kept quiet when it became clear that the 2017 National Conference and the position of president had been stolen or bought by forces outside the organization for an amount of 300 million rand, which the president admitted under oath, and the estimated amount of 1 million more found by the public protector in her Bosasa report, in which Ramaphosa was fingered. Thirdly, the turning point for me was a misguided statement made by the ANC president that the ANC is accused #1 for corruption in South Africa. Neither the leadership of the ANC and the NEC nor the membership at the most recent national conference saw the need to challenge or change that incorrect statement. Fourthly, the ANC expelled its Secretary General using the selective application of the so-called step-aside rule, but will now allow the president, who is also facing criminal charges, to top its list for the next election. Fifthly, the ANC stood idle when 400 black people were massacred in KwaZulu-Natal following the avoidable July 2021 unrest caused by the Constitutional Court and Mr. Raymond Zondo due to my imprisonment without trial under the ANC of Ramaphosa. Sixthly, the last straw was when, due to the public protector's 31 questions in the investigation of the Phala scandal, she was suspended and then impeached by the ANC, DA, and Freedom Front working together. I have now been told that the ANC of Ramaphosa has decided to vote in favor of the impeachment of Judge President Hlophe and Judge Motata. The ANC of Ramaphosa has declared war against progressive black professionals and intellectuals. Lastly, the ANC of Ramaphosa has plunged the country into darkness with load shedding, which has ruined the economy. This could have easily been avoided by keeping the best management with successfully prevented load shedding and adopting nuclear energy many years ago. Today, we are told that nuclear power has suddenly become affordable. These are just some of the key reasons for my answer to the question, what is to be done? Some ANC leaders have asked me to campaign for the ANC in the 2024 elections. For the reasons I have stated, and many others that I will share with the public in the coming months, I have decided that I cannot and will not campaign for the ANC of Ramaphosa. My conscience will not allow me to lie to the people of South Africa and to pretend that the ANC of Ramaphosa is the ANC of Luthuli, Tambo, and Mandela. It is not the ANC that I joined and went to jail for. In this regard, I fully agree with other former leaders like Comrade Thabo Mbeki and others that it would be a betrayal to campaign for the ANC of Ramaphosa. However, I also believe that it's not enough to withdraw from the ANC campaign, which will lead our people to more misery, poverty, racism, unemployment, deepening load shedding, and a government led by sellouts and apartheid collaborators. It is also our duty to guide our people in what to do in order to save our revolution from its enemies and to achieve the society envisaged by the Freedom Charter. I therefore wish to announce that in 2024, I will vote for the uMkhonto weSizwe MK party. It has already been registered with the IEC with my knowledge and blessings in response to various pleas expressed to me by some religious leaders, traditional leaders, former combatants, and other leaders in society. I call on all South Africans to join me in taking the important step and to vote for the MK party and any other progressive party which seeks total liberation and the return of our land to its rightful owners, the African people. The task ahead requires young and older leaders alike to pull in the same direction. No single organization can pull out of the present crisis. We require the same spirit of unity which saw us defeating the monster of apartheid. In the past few months, I have held several meetings with leaders of our people across the spectrum, including about 10 registered progressive political parties, with the aim of fostering a much-needed unity of the historically oppressed and dispossessed in South Africa. We are also discussing the formation of a patriotic front and a voting bloc after the people's victory in 2024 election. Yes. We are also discussing the formation of a patriotic front and a voting bloc after the people's victory in the 2024 election to pursue a minimum consensus program of no more than 10 points of agreement to get us out of the present crisis, which is in the process of being formulated. The single aim is to steer the ship of the total liberation from colonialism back on course by uniting Africans across the country, the African continent, and the African diaspora behind the battle for land, justice, and radical transformation towards economic freedom. There can never be reconciliation without socio-economic justice and equality. To explain the necessity for taking these steps, and in particular for choosing the vehicle of uMkhonto weSizwe Party in pursuing our freedom from the present capture by white monopoly capital and the enemies of our people operating among us, I can only quote the founding statement of uMkhonto weSizwe on 16 December 1961. The time comes in the life of any nation where there remain only two choices: submit or fight. The time has now come to South Africa. We shall not submit, and we have no choice but to hit back by all means without our power in defense of our future and our freedom. The statement was true on 16 December 1961 and is also true on 16 December 2023. The new People's War starts from today. The only crucial difference is that instead of the bullet this time, we will use the ballot. This was made possible by the supreme sacrifices made by many freedom fighters in the past 400 years, in the years of resistance across the length and breadth of this land, starting with the heroism of Khoisan leader David Stearman, and culminating in the democratic breakthrough of 1994. Throughout that history, our people and their leaders were prepared for any consequences in the pursuit of freedom, including death itself. At this historical juncture, there is once again no alternative but to pick up the spear of the nation, uMkhonto weSizwe, in defense of our people and in pursuit of a peaceful revolution for radical change. The status quo cannot be allowed to prevail or even get worse. Today, my mission is only to announce the way forward. The formal launch of MK Party and the announcement of its interim leadership and party lists will be done in the early part of 2024. At this stage, we will also report back to the nation on any progress in the discussions around much-needed black unity and the Patriotic Front discussions. Due to the toxic atmosphere caused by our captured media, judiciary, and other arms of the state, it was necessary to conduct these discussions underground. We will soon be ready to share the details with the nation. No force can defeat a people's thirst for freedom. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ulu. This is what I wanted to say today. To the country. I've been part of the struggle for a long time. I sacrificed almost everything, ready to die. Was lucky I didn't. Many of my comrades did. And I would love the colleagues and the countrymen, particularly the pastors, that for us to arrive at the right point, I would request you, because we have been talking with you, that next year, you should organize a national coming together of the Christians, of the South Africans, to pray for the country, to get back where it is supposed to be. As I said earlier, the traditional leaders will put out of everything. Yes, and yet they are the owners of this country. They literally have no role in the running of this country. And yet they are called uMkhonto. But they don't have a say. This is their country. Yes, government must be there, but we belong to ourselves, and government is elected by us. We need to tell the government what to do. No country must be allowed to sell the companies of the country without consulting us. Some people will have to answer at some point. So I plead with you, my pledges, to help pray for this country, so that even the elections that are coming are going to be peaceful, and there's going to be change in the country. It is in our hands. It is in our hands. It is in our hands. We have to be true to ourselves and to our people, to everybody else. Let me tell you one story. I have already here many times been killed by my former colleagues in many ways. I can tell the story. We shall tell enough time next year to tell the story. How many people have been sent to my house to kill me by people I know? It's not my time to say all those things now, but I want to tell you, among the reasons why I've taken this decision was I realized this is not a country for. I need to see a South Africa that our ancestors envisaged, to say this country will be free. There is more poverty. There is more problems. There is more criminality. All together, just talk about how much this time things have been. There is no solution why are we not stopping criminality in our country. We pay tax for everyone to do the job. Everyone to do the job. But we are not top as we go. You promise a jail. You took me around with it. One of the yeah, thank you very much.
President Jacob Zuma, and also thank you, President, for bringing out President's speech. I think we can now move on, as the President had mentioned. We can take probably 3 questions or so, President, and depending on whether they're serious or not, we will decide as to whether we feel this issue is on. So, by a raise of hands, if you may, please stand up and mention who you are, the media house that you represent, and then you can go to the question.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yes. All right. Just a moment. Okay, I think if you come through, then let's use.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Former President and still one associate. I said that this is very sensitive to statements, and obviously someone who has had the opportunity to obviously cover a lot of you and your thinking and stuff like that. I then wondered what exactly are you saying? Do you still remain the member of the ANC, but will not vote for the ANC or campaign for the ANC because of what that is doing? And secondly, I think someone who operates outside of the ANC parliament has expressed himself. I will not recommend the ANC and its president to expel you. Thanks.
Thank you. There's a next question.
On let's do one by one.
Okay. This is another question from the
question?
I didn't hear everything.
So the president is asking, can you specify exactly what the question is? Because you did touch a number of things. I think he was specific when he wanted to respond.
I was still remaining the member of the ANC, that's number one. And number two, I will not dare the ANC to explain you, giving them the power to say you will be operating outside of the parliament.
Uzwakele manje.
It's seriousness, not
Thank you very much. I will be a member of the ANC until I die. But if the ANC goes out of the way, I will take time to correct it. And this is to rescue the ANC, what I'm doing.
It's not going to expel you. I think that.
we can't dictate what it is.
Why do I ask me that question? Wait a bit.
You know, I was a member of the African National Congress, at the same time a member of MK. I've been a member of these two. There's no contradiction. If one wants to do anything, they want as their own business. I joined MK as a soldier, and I took an oath. When I joined the ANC, I signed my signature. I did not take an oath.
Firstly, what I want to find out from you is to say, you know, recently that the ANC and consulted me as a consortium not to exit the party. So, have you been contacted not to do what you are doing now, maybe by the Secretary General or elders of the ANC? And you've always talked about discipline of the party. Remember, should be discipline of the ANC. You are saying that you are not leaving the ANC, but are these not signs of any discipline coming from the leader of your side? Thank you very much.
I don't know whether I had it. What?
We've always advocated advocated for discipline through programs. But now our actions work could be seen as being indisciplined. Ngoba uyaphuma, so ithini into?
No, akangizwa. Awungizwa weba. Angisho ukuthi ngiphuma. Wangifunza manje. I have taken a decision, very specific decision that I have given this is why. Because, and one of the problems that I should have added to my brother there, the African National Congress is the liberation movement. South Africa, not just a political party, we call it one. It was established by the traditional leaders. Not a party that move away to get away. This is African National Congress. I believe in it. I believe in it. I will guide it. But the right people mishandle it, I will also come in to elections. What else do you
The second question is, have you been approached
No, why should I answer that question there? Why should I answer that?
Don't shoot the
But Mr. Zuma has been approached by what is it? I just put my case here. I put my case. I'm speaking today for the first time. Who would have known that? Who would have then approached me? I live in the ANC. I've been a leader of the ANC. I was asked to leave before I finished my term. I did not say anything. Because I'm a disciplined cadre of the ANC. Something is doing wrong, and I stand up. It is not the first time, by the way. When I write my history, realize that even in prison, we have discussions, very serious discussions. It is a debate. When the person differs, you don't understand. What is that? Terrible.
Just two questions. Should weSizwe ask him to their place during the election, as you said, that the learning of weSizwe, would you be available to present them on the ballots and serve as a presidential candidate? And secondly, should the ANC come back as AG in terms of having constitution since now they open to having an engagement with the leadership of the ANC so that the access to constitution leadership
The first question, uMkhonto was nominated. Are you open? Ube ballot paper. That's the first question. ASP, made an approach. Would you be willing to come back?
Sengathi shoda ngombuzo lapha. I said I'm going to vote on K. That is enough for you. To know whether I will be approached, whether I will agree, so that's never. Because what I'm talking about is a serious matter of the country. I am a volunteer of the ANC. I get instructed by my organization. I got instructed by the ANC. I got instructed by MK. And I worked for both. And I remain a member of both. Even if MK were doing the wrong thing, I would stand up and say this is not right. For example, one of the things we talk about in MK is discipline.
It's 10:05.
Yes,
Manga.
this is the second last one.
As a constitutional from the SABC. Okay. I just want to find out how voting for uMkhonto weSizwe is going to translate into refuting the ANC. I just want to find out, just from a logistical point of view, a arrangement point of view, how is it practically going to work?
How would that rescue the ANC? Because I'm not really detailed, but make all the detail to understand how are you planning to rescue the ANC as uMkhonto?
That's a serious question.
But my position was that I am calling members of the ANC NK to vote for MK. That's what I'm calling for. I'm not going to vote for the ANC. I'm going to vote for MK. And I'm calling MK members, ANC members to vote for me. MK, so that we have a majority to change this country and rescue the ANC from the mess in which it has been put. That's what it is. Clear. It's as clear as anything. Some people were perhaps interested to know. You know the combination with MK and ANC. Some people don't know. When the ANC was burned in 1960, banned, outlawed the ANC. ANC, one of the things it did, it went underground. It was never a military organization. It was the leaders of the struggle who met and said, the time for fighting has come. And you can't fight through ANC. And there was a long discussion about the need to fight. And you couldn't fight through the ANC. MK was established as a rescue of the struggle with policies different from the ANC in some cases together. It was a non-violent organization. MK was a violent organization. And that's why MK took an oath and was ready to have soldiers, to train soldiers fight. No member of the ANC, just as a member, said, I'm now fighting. If you wanted to fight, you join MK. And even the policies, by the way, for information, because some people mistaken the history for whatever reasons. What happened is that MK, you could be a member of MK, whether you're an Indian or white or colored or whatever. At that time, you wouldn't join the ANC if you're not an African. Two different policies. I know some people are arguing about theirs. About uMkhonto. These are two organizations. And when we came back, we did not lose MK. If you remember, I'm sure many here will remember, it was actually, the name was taken off. And people who were in MK were MKMVA. Two different things. I'm saying, people who are in charge of the ANC today, who are giving instructions, who are doing everything, they will claim this is our organization. We are not elected. So we don't want that war. we have introduced MK to come back as a party, so that we vote, we don't move away from the ANC. Those who move away from the ANC, I'll tell you a story next year when we've got time to talk about it.
So we'll take the last question.
Fine. No problem.
We'll have time next year.
Amanda, unfortunately, it's not a question. It's a comment. I want to say Siyabonga, Yamala, Sibongela Khulu, to come with an ideology and idea for some of us that needed a place, a shoulder to cry on. Kudala sikalelezwa ubuhlungu, ukulwa and sacrifice and see your corporate aduthula kweleni kwakho and die for this country, for the better future of our people. And also to find that there are those who come and hijack and keep everyone whoever progressive it can be. But Siyabonga kakhulu mama. Ngicela ukuthi bonke abantu abalalele namhlanje. Ngiyacela asivotelele nje. We are not lost. Sikhumbule ukuthi siba ngumuntu ophela phakathi kwenye and the ANC, a person who understands the difficulties of our people's lives. We can never claim freedom without economic freedom. Never. I thank you.
Another question, because we did see questions, but this is the last question. And then we close with the name we represent.
I'm the leader of Yama, what's the name of the country?
The first one is the gang at the 2000s, they are 18-year-old, 19-year-old. About uMkhonto, what are we saying to them? But related to uMkhonto, about certain credentials of ours. This is elaborate with this.
Bazofundiswa akekho umuntu ozalwa namhlanje azi yonke into. Bazofundiswa ukuthi uMkhonto usho ukuthini, why sithe namhlanje uMkhonto ake sibeke wona sivotele wona, ebese siyabafundisa ukuthi usho ukuthini, wawusho ukuthini. Akukho esingezukubatshela, sizoba nethuba lokuyixoxa indaba nabo bayazi, siyobathumela lapho abahleli khona bayizwe. Asifuni bakhona bazokwenza ukuthi sisho
baxabene, abanye bayagugulana. Into eyenzeka manje, le nto esifuna ukuyiqeda nya. Kube yiSouth Africa lesifunayo siyazi.
Second question. Second part.
Oh, the second question.
Wasn't clear.
The second part of the question.
Okay. When we are with application, national government for ANC, that are also was over the UK. About the Tamana, Naba Kodela Zuma, but the UK, Chef Papa ANC. America, we are not only open, the leaders of the UK or the ANC at the end of the 72. Nothing is the how we
Thank you very much for coming.